Alrighty. When it comes to Glocks, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Aye. Yeah. Got my rock up, say not soft. We standing on this business. Ay, if you on that other side and you is not a friend of me.
So the purpose of this video is to serve as sort of a royalty-free review, bias-free, outside of my own personal experience owning multiple Glocks, probably over the last 10 years, from Gen 3 to Gen 5. Talk about some pros and cons, and why I'm finally leaving the toxic relationship that I've had with Glock over the years. And don't get me wrong, me and Glock will still be friends, but I think it's just better if we see other people. And before you spurg out in the comments section calling me, a fucking retard because I don't like the best gun on the fucking earth, and that you were able to jumpstart your car with just a Glock 17, and that Glock helped save your marriage. Listen, I don't care, first of all. Second of all, this video is not to slander Glock's good-ish name. It's simply to talk about a company that I want to do better. Okay, I think they've gotten away with just doing the bare minimum while charging a premium price. But we're going to talk about that later. Oh my god, how can you beat Glock perfection? Hush, you'll figure it out. Or maybe you won't. So let's get right into the gun-tuber goblin brain shit and talk about some pros and cons. One pro of the Gen 5 series of Glocks is they finally made the right decision to get rid of those fucking ugly-ass finger grooves, which for people with big goober hands like me, it doesn't really fit that well. Another great thing about Glock in general is the aftermarket availability for upgrades and parts and things like that. If you have a Glock and you want to put it in a fucking PCC chassis, you have 1,000 fucking options to do that. If you want a sweet ass Punisher skull backplate on the back of your slide, go right ahead, homie. If you don't like the gas pedal that's on your Glock now, guess what? You got 1,000 other options to go with. And so Glock is pretty unrivaled in that aspect, where the sort of plug and play benefit with aftermarket parts just really isn't available with a lot of other guns. The next pro is that Glocks are just widely available. You would be hard pressed to walk into any gun store in the United States and not find at least 2 to 3 million Glocks on the shelves. Whether that's new, older gen, LE trade-ins, used, there's just a fucking ton of them out there. And lastly is mag and holster availability. Glock mags are plentiful and they are very affordable. Even for the OEM ones, some OEM mags go up as high as like $50 fucking for some reason, but Glock OEM mags are actually quite affordable, which is nice. And they're also just widely available, especially if you get into like PMags and stuff like that. And like I said, also holsters are just about everywhere, at least online. It would be foolish for a holster company in America to produce any plethora of holsters and not include Glocks. So now let's talk about some cons. Firstly, I fucking hate Glock ergonomics. Glock ergonomics are bad, and I'm tired of people pretending that they're good. It is literally a Minecraft gun. Like, tell me where the square fits in the circle hole. It doesn't, at least not well. And what I've found out over the years of owning several different Glocks, gens, sizes, whatever, is that regardless, I have to retrain to shoot Glocks well. And I used to shoot Glocks quite well. But then I go from shooting Glocks all day to shooting something like a CZ or an M&P, and it's almost like I have to like retrain my hand placement or my grip just to be able to shoot well again. Is that personal preference? Maybe. Is it a skill issue? Also maybe. Next problem that I have with Glocks, especially the Gen 5s, is plastic fucking sights on a $500 gun. Please point anywhere on the gun itself where all of that money in manufacturing went, where you can justify being like, well, to keep prices down, we had to put plastic sights on. Dude, that is fucking retarded. And most people will be like, well, you know, fucking dudes are gonna change out their fucking sights anyway, so like, what's the point of having metal sights on there? They're harder to remove and fucking da 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 da. Okay, what about for the people that don't want to change their sights? Now they have a literal fucking liability on the gun itself. That's dumb. That's fucking bad. And we've literally seen problems with these sights fucking drifting out of the dovetail under a normal course of shooting, or, you know, dropping the fucking gun and it walks halfway out, or they just straight up break. They literally just break because they're fucking plastic. I'm sorry. $500 for a new Glock, or any Glock for that matter. It's just like, why have plastic sights? I don't get it. The next gripe that I have with Glock, the next Glock gripe that I have, is consistency issues. Now, to put credit where credit's due, this only happened on one Glock, but it's one too many. And the severity of the issue is just fucking unacceptable. It doesn't make sense. I had a Glock 43X, made in America, one of the USA versions. Now, mind you, Glocks on average have, I think, what is it, like a 4.5 to 5.5 pound trigger, something like that, which isn't bad. This 43X in particular, though, was 8 fucking pounds out of the box. And before you Glock nerds out there fucking start roasting me in the comments if you haven't already, I checked the product number online from the box. It's not the New York police version or whatever the fuck it's called. I mean, Glock has been making the same fucking gun for like over 30 years with changing hardly anything. How in the fuck did this particular gun with this particular trigger somehow slip by the Glock perfection quality control? And then people tell me, oh, just fucking change the trigger bar, the fucking, you know, the little leaf spring inside the trigger pack, you know, it's only fucking $11. No, how about the gun should just be better out of the box? Like somehow it's my fault that I went and bought this gun because I was told that they're good to go out of the box. But not only am I getting dicked down with having plastic sights and bad ergonomics, now I'm fucking dealing with having a literal borderline unusable trigger for a gun that is geared towards concealed carry. So having that in mind, the next con is that the gun is just fucking expensive for what you get. You're spending, you know, 450, $500-600 after tax, whatever, depending on the model, for a gun that is just lacking out of the box. People like to fucking tout their Gucci Glocks and shit like that, saying it's the fucking best thing since sliced bread. And I don't doubt that the gun in that current configuration is better than a bare bones Glock, because it probably is. But what did it take to get there? You know, they change out their slide. If they don't have the MOS version, they get the slide cut, get a fucking red dot put on it, which MOS version fucking costs more. They change the trigger on it to have a 3.5 pound trigger. They get different fucking controls on it, maybe a compensator, whatever. The point is, they fucking changed so much of like the core aspect of the gun itself to where it's basically like the only thing that is still Glock is the fucking frame and maybe the barrel. And then they'll adamantly defend that Glock is the best fucking handgun manufacturer in the fucking world. Yeah, Glock is great once you replace all of the parts on it. And while I'm spurging out, I want to reiterate, it might be hard to believe, but this is not a Glock slander video. I want to like Glocks. I think the good things that they have going for them are really good. And a lot of manufacturers have not been able to beat them in that aspect yet. But where they are literally cutting fucking corners, they need to do something about. They need to address it and just make the fucking gun better. Like, I would be willing to even forfeit the idea that the gun looks like it was fucking made in Roblox if it meant that it had a good trigger, that it had good sights, while still being able to maintain the same fucking price. So if that entire chimp out argument that I just had kind of steered you away from Glocks, or maybe you're just wondering, well, if it's not a Glock, what the fuck else then? And to answer that question, it's the CZP-10C. Sorry, but people will still tell me I'm wrong, so whatever. It's the internet. Cry about it, cope, piss, seethe. But whatever. I'm just a man on the internet. Who cares what I think? So if you've made it to this point in the video, I want to say good job and thank you for watching. Channel recently hit 3,000 subs, which is super fucking cool. Every day the Goon Army gets a little bit bigger, and that brings me great joy. And if you want to support this channel, I've recently started a Subscribe Star, which reminds me, thank you to the big homie, not Santa, for supporting me on Subscribe Star. He's the first of hopefully at least a few. Supporting the channel helps me make videos like this one, but you can also support me by buying a shirt. Currently, I have these options available, so you can scare the hose away at any function you go to. But most importantly, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and by God, give me your best brain rot comment in the comment section. And if you're feeling extra spurgy, the Discord, oh, the Discord. The Discord is out of control. But I love my Discord nephews. They're all homies. Which, link to the Discord will be in the description, along with the merch and Subscribe Star links, if you so choose. It's not necessary. Discord is absolutely free, and it always will be. So be a part of the Goon community. And if anything, you can hop in there and tell me how fucking wrong I am about Glocks. So, whatever. Take it how you will. Anyway, homies, that's all I got. Thank you very much again for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.